is Brigid? And how did she go from powerful Celtic goddess to demure Catholic saint? Why is she important to remember? And how can she help us get through these dark days of late winter? Late January and early February could be considered the most dismal time of year. The holidays are over and the decorations are packed away. All we have to look forward to is work, and the next big holidays and warm weather seem like they are eons away. Unless, that is, you're a pagan. Because us pagans have the Wheel of the Year, which means we always have something to look forward to, and a way to deal with the boredom and despair of the winter blues. So if you're feeling a bit cold and lost after the holidays, get yourself a cup of tea and get cozy as we dig into the upcoming holiday of Imbolc, its patron goddess Brigid, and how this time of year can actually be filled with warmth and hope. Close your eyes and envision a fiery-haired goddess wearing a sunbeam as a cloak. She holds a blacksmith hammer in one hand and a healing elixir in the other. Traveling with her are her famous animal companions, 2 powerful oxen, a famous boar from Arthurian legend, and a legendary ram called the King of Sheep. Brigid is a goddess of many faces and rules over many aspects of life. She was called upon by craftsmen needing inspiration for their trades, and likewise she was called upon by women going through childbirth. Her healing powers were legendary, and may have been aspects passed on to her from her father, the Dagda, a primordial Irish deity and master of magic and mysticism. Brigid is also a goddess of poetry, a goddess of fire, and a goddess of healing. She was not limited to ruling over traditional female attributes, and her spheres of influence cover tasks and skills traditionally associated with both genders. Brigid's multifaceted nature is inspirational and can help us understand a bit about what the ancient Celts valued in society. Some even consider Brigid as having a triple form, with each aspect representing one of her domains. This idea ties her to the multitude of other triple goddesses such as Hecate from the Greek pantheon, or the Slavic star goddesses called the Zoira. I sometimes wonder why it is that goddesses often appear in this triple form, and what that might ultimately represent about the sacred feminine. Share your thoughts on this in the comments, as I'd love to hear your ideas on why goddesses often appear in this triple form. Of all Brigid's titles and attributes, the most important is her association with the beginning of spring. Her holiday of Imbolc on February 1st was considered the first official day of spring to the ancient Celts. So even if it doesn't feel like spring where you live, what Brigid and the holiday of Imbolc offers is the hope and warmth to get us through these last bitter cold weeks. Traditionally, her feast day of Imbolc was considered a day of weather divination, a time to guess when exactly the warm weather would return. We see a modern manifestation of this in the American Groundhog Day, where Punxsutawney Phil's shadow is used to predict the length of winter. A fun activity to try for Imbolc would be to do your own weather divination, with a pendulum or tarot cards perhaps, and try to predict when it will start feeling like spring. Like many pagan deities, Brigid eventually became incorporated into Christianity. The combining of pagan deities and customs with Christian ones is something you see throughout Christian history, as it was an effective strategy for transitioning the local populace away from paganism and towards Christianity. But this time, they literally took a pagan goddess and just added saint in front of her name. So was there even a real person named Brigid who became sainted, or did they just simply pretend a person existed so they could Christianize the stories and traditions of this Celtic goddess? The scholarship on this is mixed. Some scholars think the saint was just a Christianization of the goddess, though some Christian writings say that a woman named Brigid did exist, and she was sainted after establishing a monastery at Kildare. Regardless of how this all initially happened, the goddess Brigid eventually got fully incorporated into Irish Christianity, and today is one of the most widely known and celebrated saints among the Irish. Today, many healing holy wells are associated with Brigid, and both pagan and Christian alike make a pilgrimage to these sacred sites for Imbolc. This aspect of healing waters is something you'll find throughout Irish folklore, and is something you can participate in at home by doing a simple ritual bath for Imbolc. As Brigid is first and foremost a harbinger of spring, any early signs of fertility and life can be celebrated in her honor. For example, you can search for snowdrops or any other natural signs of early spring to place on your altar. These little reminders of spring placed around your home can help beat back any of those winter blues. Giving an offering is another easy thing you could do to honor Brigid during the Imbolc season. The word Imbolc means ewe's milk, and this term is used as many herd animals give birth at this time of year. Since Brigid is a goddess associated with domesticated animals, a bowl of milk would be an excellent offering to give her for Imbolc. Fire is also an element associated with this time of year, representing both the warming of the season and Brigid's role as a smith goddess. It's likely the ancient Celts lit bonfires on Imbolc, and even a simple candle or two on your altar can be used to represent this aspect. However you choose to honor Brigid, we pagans have the privilege of celebrating this ancient and multifaceted goddess. It's up to us to ensure that knowledge of her and her traditions is honored and acknowledged both in our own generation and the generations to come. Hi, I'm Scarlett, and I hope you enjoyed this little introduction to the Celtic goddess Brigid. I'll leave some book recommendations down below in case you're interested in learning more about her. And if you did like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!